one of the most common responsibilities of a TV presenter. Therefore, knowing how to prepare for the interview is vital. Also, there are some common patterns to follow in an interview. In this module, you will learn how to prepare for interviews and how to conduct the interview. Learning outcomes. You will learn the ins and outs of the interviewing process and prepare for an interview. You will practice interviewing and prepare the interviewees. You will make them feel at ease for a successful interview. We will give you insight on conducting interviews successfully as a TV presenter. Preparing for an interview. Gather information about the guest. Your first goal is to learn everything you can about your visitor. The quantity of research done will inevitably be determined by the amount of time and money available. Use all sources, books, newspapers, internet, your colleagues, your guests' colleagues, TV and radio shows, company reports, but always be sure of their credibility. Choosing your angle. The so what, or who cares, test can be used to determine the worth of any tale. It is how news editors decide which stories to prioritize. These tests aid in identifying an angle, for example, the most important aspect of the event. Is it the largest, the longest, the oldest, the most dangerous, frightening, immoral, or amusing? Will it have a massive impact on a vast number of people? Will a significant sum of money be spent? Or, to put it another way, will it be expensive yet only affect a small number of people? Perhaps it's just a strange quirk. The test also aids in the selection of your line of questions. Miss Muffet is terrified of spider shock, for example. What's the big deal? Spiders startle millions of people every day. Was Miss Muffet, however, a well-known film or pop star? Was she 104 when she had a heart attack outside healthy aged offices? Was the spider a tarantula in a zoo case? Was it a tarantula from the zoo's case? Choosing the questions. An interview must have a beginning, middle, and end. It could help to think about it in terms of the past, present, and future. Consider what happened to get us here, and what is happening now. Consider the immediate impact of the incident, as well as the long-term effects. Always write the cue material or introduction as soon as possible. You will discover that the primary question you must ask is the story's main line. Make a list of your questions. When the answer is ambiguous, think about the likely responses and prepare questions for all possibilities. The question is, why are you asking the question? There is no use in asking a question unless there is a reason to request one. A question, comment, or rhetorical remark may ease the interviewee, allowing him or her to shine, clarify, defend, or deliver funny responses. Alternatively, it may just help to promote the interviewer's ego. Does it reveal something about the interviewee that the audience should know, or is it simply a cheap jibe that achieves nothing? Framing the questions. Always frame your questions such that you get the most information with the least amount of prompting. The golden rule is to ask who, what, where, when, why, and how. Not only are these the types of questions that stall the escape attempt, but they are also helpful for stimulating your mind about the types of inquiries that you should ask. In formulating inquiries, your command of grammar and language is critical. The goal is to optimize the interviewee's information flow while minimizing interruptions. For example, never end up clarifying the question to your coworkers, and avoid using long words that your interviewee will not comprehend. The length of the interview. You'll establish a mental clock that compels you to skip questions you thought you'd get to. Prioritize your questions. Inform your interviewee ahead of time how long the interview will last. Make it clear how much of it is intended to be broadcast as well. Preparing the interviewee. Make your visitors feel at ease. Shake their hands. Make a happy face. Use their name to greet them. Instead of the more formal surname, interviewers usually use first names almost immediately. It contributes to the illusion being set up for the interview itself. Make your visitors physically at ease. Is the chair in good condition? Is there enough space for them to jot down any notes they may have? They may not be permitted to have papers in front of them, since they will be captured on video. Please explain why you are ready to remove their crib bedding in this circumstance. Grab a glass of water for them. Explain the details. Interviewees frequently believe they must bend toward the microphone. It will distort the sound and appear terrible on screen. Tell them to relax, find a comfortable seat, and reposition the microphone accordingly. Tell them in general terms what the interview will entail and how long it will last. It's a fantastic opportunity to connect with interviewees. You must instill people with confidence. If they are psychologically and physically at ease, they will answer your questions, laugh at your jokes, and provide much more in-depth information than you could have asked for. Making interviewees feel at ease may be more difficult if you are on location. Make sure kids aren't standing in the rain or wind. Explain the size of the image so they know if their hands and feet are in frame. Check that your guest has turned off any cell phones, pagers, alarms, and their primary phone line. Conducting the interview. Maintain eye contact with the interviewees. Pay close attention to what they say and try to understand what they mean. React with evident curiosity. It will instill confidence in interviewees. Don't keep saying yes, or oh, I see. It's annoying to listen to, impossible to edit, and makes you seem ridiculous. If you want to interrupt, do so sparingly. Let interviewees point somewhere, if they're going to. Otherwise, you will lose your audience's sympathies. It means you'll be ready if they abruptly stop talking, but it also means you'll be forcing the pace of the interview and steering it in the direction you want. Silences can have a significant impact. You do not need to keep talking to keep the microphone busy. Sometimes you will ask a question that someone may not be able to answer right away. Maintain stillness and put the subject under pressure to talk. If he or she does not, the continuous silence is informative. Maintain your calm. Sometimes a person will say something so moving or emotional that you can say anything would be crass. Listen to and see the interview as if you had an out-of-body experience. It's as if you are hovering outside of yourself, gazing in. It is essential in an interview that it be cut into a more extended item. Consider how it will sound to the audience once it has been trimmed and assembled. Play the role of the devil's advocate. Interviewees are entitled to, and deserve, a full and honest explanation of their motivations and goals. However, they may be uninformed that they will appear foolish in light of other people's criticisms of the program, of which they are, of course, uninformed. That is why, in the absence of the accusers, you must press. If something is mentioned that you don't understand, ask for clarification. Don't be afraid to appear ridiculous. If you appear dim, it will be cut out, but if you don't comprehend it, your audience probably won't either. Never be ashamed to reveal your lack of knowledge. Don't, on the other side, be tempted to flaunt your specialized knowledge. It will appear pompous, and you may leave the listener without an appropriate explanation. Maintain control over your tone of voice. Pushing gently but pleasantly, and without malice, can elicit a wealth of information from people. So instead, maintain an indecipherable expression, deadpan. Show your interviewees courtesy. They may appear insane, criminal, violent, devious, and liars. They may seem amusing, endearing, innocent, and endearing. They could be some of these things at times. Your duty is not to pass judgment on people, but to figure out what makes them tick. After the interview has been scheduled and completed, reassure the interviewee that he or she did well. Outsiders cannot be expected to comprehend how an interview would go. Thus, you can explain how they uttered a few times at the start is meaningless because their answer would be cut out nonetheless. Assist the interviewees with packing, transportation, and any other assistance they require. Highlights from the module. Gather information and learn everything you can about your visitor before an interview. Always write the cue material or introduction as soon as possible, as you will discover that the primary question you must ask is the story's main line. Ask your visitors to relax, find a comfortable seat, and reposition the microphone accordingly. Pay close attention to what the visitors say and try to understand what they mean. Assist the interviewees with packing, transportation, and any other assistance they require. Thank you. This is the end of this module. See you in the next module.